The Grovemade and Balolo desk shelves have basically defined the desk setup world, but they are way more different than you think. And since no one has actually compared them side by side yet, let's finally answer the question, which desk shelf really deserves a spot on your desk. So in this video, I'll be comparing both in their solid walnut finish to keep it fair. And if you want to check them out for yourself, I'll leave links to both desk shelves and discount codes down in the description. Let's start with the assembly experience. With Grovemade, you get the main board, two cork feet that snap into place with pressure, the aluminum tray included in the price, and an extra cork piece that both creates separation inside the shelf and secures the tray to the board with screws. With Balolo, you get the board, two feet that attach with screws, and a steel support leg that goes in the middle if you need extra stability. Unlike Grovemade, they don't include a tray by default, and if you want one, you'll need to spend an extra 60 to 80 euros depending on the size. Personally, I think that's a good thing, because it gives you the freedom to set up and customize your shelf exactly how you want it. Now let's talk looks. The Grovemade board has a sharper design, especially around the corners and the profile, and it comes in 9 different wood finishes. Balolo's design, on the other hand, feels bulkier and more minimal, and it's available in 5 variants. Side by side, Grovemade's board is about 2 cm longer, Balolo is about 0.5 taller, and the depth is basically the same. If we measure thickness, Grovemade comes in about 3 mm thicker than Balolo. Aesthetically, I lean towards Grovemade. The aluminum tray, even though I don't love the rough texture, gives off real designer vibes. The cork feet also look nicer and protect your desk from scratches, but they make the shelf slide quite easily. And personally, I like that. Balolo's feet, on the other hand, are solid and don't slide as much because of the cork stickers underneath. For someone like me who's constantly moving things around on the desk, I actually prefer when the shelf moves more freely. That's why I added adhesive felt pads under the Balolo feet. Now I can slide the setup cockpit easily, and it adds extra desk protection against scratches. My biggest gripe with Balolo's feet though is that they don't match the depth of the shelf the way the trays do, and that drives me a bit crazy. And since we're talking about aesthetics, I think a clean desk deserves a clean screen too. That's why I use my own timeless wallpaper collection. If you want the same vibe and to support the channel, I'll leave the link in the description. Both boards are extremely high quality. The Grovemade wood finish feels silky smooth to the touch compared to Balolo, where you can feel a bit more texture. I also think Grovemade's walnut looks richer in tone, but this can vary since every piece of wood is unique. For example, I have 3 Balolo boards in walnut and they all look very different. One looks washed out, one is much browner, and this one feels like a middle ground. In terms of weight, the assembled Grovemade shelf is about 4.3 kilograms, while Balolo is around 3.5. But once you start adding steel accessories, especially if you include 2 trays, Balolo becomes much heavier and really sturdy on the desk. Both boards are made of natural wood and they're not coated with waterproof layers. That means they can stain if you spill water or chemicals, they'll scratch if you slide object across them, and they will slowly change color if exposed to UV rays. But honestly, that's the beauty of it. My best tip for taking care of them is to dust regularly with a dry microfiber cloth, avoid alcohol-based sprays, never leave a sweating glass directly on the surface, lift objects instead of sliding them to prevent micro scratches, clean spills immediately, and finally, don't overload them without proper support, because after years the wood may start to bend. If you want pure functionality, Balolo is the GOAT. Their patented grid system lets you attach all kind of modular accessories like MagSafe stands, laptop risers, and iPad holders. But that's not all. They also launched a new desk that's fully compatible with the same system. So I can move everything from the shelf straight to the desk without buying anything new, and it works like a complete desk ecosystem. Another big part of functionality is cable management. Balolo's trays have a larger compartment in the back that makes routing cables much easier, and the desk itself even has a pass-through hole right in the middle, so I can drop everything cleanly in the cable tray below. With Grovemade, you do get a little space in the back to run cables through, but it doesn't feel nearly as intentional. Physical organization is only half of it though. As a creator, I also need to keep my workflow organized. That's why I built Creator OS in Notion. It's a system I use to plan videos like this one, track brand deals, and manage my entire creator workflow in one place. If you're a creator and want to check out the free version, I'll leave a link in the description. In terms of practical use, dragging accessories across the Grovemade aluminum tray is far from satisfying. To me, it feels like nails on a chalkboard. Balolo, on the other hand, covers their tray with a soft felt pad that absorbs friction and feels much smoother to use. The Setup Cockpit is also more ergonomic because of its modularity. I like to use the iPad holder right in front of me, so I can run it as a second monitor while charging it at the same time. The holder also has a secondary function. It covers the small gap between the trays, which otherwise looks a little off. Something I wish both shelves had is a taller compartment for docking stations like the Caldi GTS4 or audio interfaces like the Scarlett 2i2. With Balolo, I can solve this by adding a simple divider to increase the height. Grovemade height, on the other hand, is fixed, so it seems impossible, unless you have a 3D printer. With a bit of knowledge, you can create custom feet that snap in just like the originals. They not only change the internal height of the shelf so you can fit wherever you want, but they also create extra room for cables. I actually designed a set of these custom legs myself, and you can find the free download link in the description. Now let's talk money. The large solid American walnut setup cockpit is about 299 euros, roughly $350 US. The large Grovemade shelf in solid walnut is around $420. So if you just buy the base shelf, Balolo is cheaper. But once you start adding trays and accessories, the price difference narrows and can even flip. Another big thing to consider is international shipping and custom fees, so depending on where you're located, those fees can add up quickly. In terms of value, I see Grovemade as more of a luxury furniture brand. Their shelf feels like a design statement. Each product they sell is beautifully designed and instantly elevates your office aesthetics. Balolo, on the other hand, doesn't scream luxury, but it's still very premium. The key difference is that you only buy what you need and you can expand later. That approach is especially appealing if you want a setup that feels custom-made and more future-proof. So, who are these for? In my opinion, Grovemade is for people who want a simple, timeless shelf. No extras, no modularity, just a statement piece that looks amazing. Balolo, on the other hand, is for professionals and people working from home who want functionality and a shelf that adapts to their workflow. After using both for a long time, my personal favorite is Balolo. I'm obsessed with functionality, and since my needs change over time, having a shelf that can adapt is really appealing to me. In summary, Grovemade is art, Balolo is a system. If you just want a beautiful statement piece, go with Grovemade. But if you want something that adapts, grows, and actually makes your desk more functional, Balolo is on another level. If you're thinking about upgrading your desk setup, let me know in the comments which one fits your style best. And if you decide to pick one up, you can save 10% with my discount code MATDILISIO at checkout. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.